Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7. Now today, got some more Epic 7 World Championships for you guys. This time around, we're in the Losers Bracket 2, I believe, with LV and Apocalypse facing each other. They made it through the first Losers Bracket round, but it is still an uphill battle to reach the finals and eventually, perhaps, the grand finals. LV representing the Asia server on the left, Apocalypse as well on the right side. Only one Asia server player is going to be making it through this round here, and let's see who is going to do so. Emma Landy banned on both sides, Bellion banned on LV's side, and Zio from Apocalypse's side. They seem to be pretty consistent with their bans here, and we see that Apocalypse is going for the first pick, Lua. I mean, she's available, so why not? One of the most oppressive units in the game, arguably even more so than Landy, seeing as how she's still permanently banned in most cases, whereas at least other people do tend to let Landy through from time to time. So we see Spectre Tenebria on the left side getting picked out. I mean, Bellion is banned out, and with Lua on the other side, Spectre is a pretty decent pick. And we got Destina coming up as well. Now, Destina is picked here instead of Handguy, because Handguy could easily get reset by the Lua, which isn't too great. But speaking of Handguy, Apocalypse is going to be picking him up along with the Briarwitch Iseria to counter this Destina. Now the Briarwitch may or may not have enough damage in her S3 to actually take out the Spectre Tenebria, so you can expect another AoE unit, or at least another unit with an AoE on their S3 to potentially hit the Spectre and take her out. The Briarwitch Iseria can definitely defense break though, which is going to be very valuable. No souls on the side of Apocalypse right now, so no ignore resistance defense break, which could be really good in bypassing the high resist stat on Destina, but we'll see how that pans out. Para getting picked up on LV's side. Para should be decent into something like Bryceria, putting the unbuffable there, and the Restrict can prevent the Handguy from using his Warhorn to push himself up in combat readiness. We're gonna see a Last Rider Crow with his new skin coming out here. That's gonna be really cool to see. Want to see that animation. But yeah, Last Rider Crow there looking pretty nice with his sprite. I know his actual animation artwork, some people have a little bit of problem with how his face looks. I personally don't really like it all too much, but I really like his sprite art, and especially that avatar art right there. It looks amazing. So, like I mentioned earlier, Apocalypse needs some more AoE damage, and he's going to find that in the form of Sylvan Sage Vivian and Dilibet. Dilibet's going to be a pretty decent addition here, especially because she's a secondary cleanser to the Para, and if the Handguy gets banned out, Apocalypse will still have a way to not get locked down. Dilibet also has an S3 that can hit pretty hard and can also reset like Lua. So potentially you can see some of these units losing their skills for a couple of turns. Ed is going to get picked up as the last pick for LV. Very strong pick over here. I think he is going to get banned out, because if Sylvan Sage gets banned on Apocalypse's side and Ed stays in, Ed could potentially solo Dilibet, Briarwitch, and Lua. Because they all have debuffs on their S1, and that's exactly what we're going to see. So Ed is going to get banned out, along with a Sylvan Sage Vivian, because she is honestly super good into Spectre Tenebria and Last Rider Crown. Neither of them can really take her out that reliably. Also, if Sylvan Sage Vivian is holding a book, then Lua can soul burn, although in most cases, you can safely assume that she's on Chatty for protection. Right, well, Para's going to take the first turn over here, kind of to be expected. She's not going to use her S2, instead just opting for an S3, getting the attack buff to everybody, and going for the Escort buff. She is going to stealth, so Lua can't strip the buffs on her, and her S3 only decreases the duration of buffs by 1 turn, so this Para is going to be pretty safe here, and the attack buff is going to last on everybody. Now, Spectre Tenebria gets reset. She will be able to hit 2 targets with her S1, but I believe we do see the 1-turn increase on her there. Destina has the immunity, so she's not really going to be affected, although Last Rider Crow being put to sleep is kind of tragic here. Now look at the speed tuning on Apocalypse's side. So we got the Handguy going for the S3, attack buffing the Briarwitch. Is this enough to kill the Spectre? Really low HP on the Briarwitch here. Oh, and that's a lot of damage, but look, Dilbet following up. These are really well speed-tuned units, and they're all built pretty fast as well. Dilbet gonna go, and I think this is it. Spectre Tenebria is gonna go down along with Para. Last Rider Crow on his last legs there, and Destina can't revive. She can't revive because of the lvyuedui passive on the other side. Apocalypse essentially just cleaving right there. I think that was the fastest match we've seen all tournament. Alright, well then, let's go into the second round. LV gonna open up with the Spectre Tenebria, sticking to its guns here, although that's a little questionable because it does give Apocalypse the Lua pick. Not really sure if LV has a Lua of his own, or if he's just not really comfortable playing with that style, which I do feel sometimes, even though a unit is good and you have them built for certain situations, you might not feel really comfortable picking it, right? You don't want to venture too far out from your safe zones, but with a tournament here with $50,000 on the line, I feel like some adjustments need to be made, because right now we're running it back. We see the Para coming back out on LV's side, Apocalypse going for the hand guide to back up that Lua once more. The only difference is that LV had first pick this time and Apocalypse has second pick, but it looks like all of the units are pretty much the same, right? I believe Destina was the second pick on LV's side last time, so we'll see what he goes for here. He is hovering over the Politis and then the Violet, now opting to go for a green Sid. So he is definitely going to be going aggressive this time around. Let's see how fast the Sid is. A lot of Sids can actually do quite a bit of damage, and they're built pretty fast, right? We can see Sids upwards of like 300 speed sometimes, especially with these players and the quality of their gear. Very easily achievable, but we'll see how he built his. The speed imprint from this Sid also helps out quite a bit, ensuring that his team should probably be going first here. He's got a, okay, he's got Emma Rowana and Emma Leica. Emma Leica can take out one unit on Apocalypse's side, but the problem is Lua's still there as a speed contester, so if she doesn't get banned down, if Apocalypse picks something that's really good in the last pick here, it could spell trouble for LV's team. Something like Sage Ball could actually work quite well too. But yeah, we're seeing the Emma Rowana there. It's going to be quite tough. If Para gets banned out, actually, then the Emma Leica might be the one that's going first, and that's a little problematic. We'll see how it goes, though. Fire Lilia is getting picked up on Apocalypse's side. That is interesting, to say the least. She's actually pretty good for the Leica. If Leica goes for a non-attack skill, then Lilius is going to provoke her, preventing her from using the S3 and nuking somebody. So it's actually not too bad. It also prevents Para from using her S3. Not necessarily because she'll get provoked or anything, but because Lilius actually has an EE that pushes herself up. So she'll gain combat readiness, be able to cut the team, and possibly deal a lot of damage. We'll see. Para's gonna go for the S2. Got some restricts and unbuffables coming out here. And he's gonna go for the Soul Burn onto Lua. Kinda has to, but oh, Lua resists! That's huge! And I don't think this Lua is built on resistance. 18k HP, yeah, that is no way. And what? No, LV surrendered? I feel like he should have played that one out. I know that the Emma Leica got slept. I understand that Lua's going to go for the reset, but the Spectre Tenebria is still in the back line. And I feel like he still maybe had a chance. Maybe. But of course, I mean, if Emma Leica falls and then Green Sid falls, then it's a huge issue, right? Because Para's going to be stealth along with the Spectre Tenebria, which means Spectre can be targeted in that case. I don't know. I feel like he should have still stuck around. I mean, $50,000 is on the line in this tournament, right? I wouldn't have given up that quickly. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump to the third round here. Hopefully LV can make a comeback. We see Apocalypse going for the same picks yet again. LV going for the Spectre Tenebria. Apocalypse following up the Lua hand guy. And honestly, he's just using the same units because they're working. Why change anything if it's not broken? But LV really needs to make a change to his draft. He's just following up with the same thing yet again. Another Para. Very, very weird. At this point, I would expect LV to make some drastic moves, right? This is match point. So Apocalypse only needs one more round under his belt to knock LV out and then proceed into the loser's bracket 3 match. Destina getting picked up on LV's side. This is the same draft as the first match here. lvyuedui coming out as well on Apocalypse's side. This is not looking too good. The only difference is that Sylvan Sage Vivian is banned out here from the first round. And yeah, we'll just have to see what Apocalypse goes for. It goes for an 8-in, which is not too bad, actually. If Peyra goes for an S2 and misses the 8-in, you can definitely see her counter and get a bunch of free damage in. Again, at this point, because Briar Witch is locking Destina out of the revive, all Apocalypse needs to do is dump enough damage onto the team to kill some units, and that's it. That's game. Destina can't really do anything at that point. Fire Lily is getting picked up on LV's side. It's a little strange. I mean, you can use it for the Lua, I guess. It makes sense, but I believe the Lua was on a target debuff as well, Song of the Stars, right? She was putting that on when she was sleeping some units in the past matches. So if she tries to sleep the Lilius, I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out. She's going to cleanse the target debuff, and she's still going to remain asleep. We'll see, though. Karina getting picked up. She's okay into 8-in, but not really into the Briar Witch Iceria, especially if she can get a defense break on this Karina. It's not going to look too good. Lionheart Sermia coming out to counteract this Fire Lilius. A very nice pick to round off Apocalypse's draft. Now, the Karina's going to get banned out. The Hand Guy's going to get banned out. So we're going to see LV try to put some debuffs onto Apocalypse's side with this Peyra. Let's see if he can actually do it, and if this Lua is actually going to 15% once more with that Soulburn S1 from Peyra for the stuns. I think going into this match here, it's going to be very, very crucial that the speed tuning is very good on LV's side, and it looks like it's pretty decent. The Lionheart's pretty slow, the 8-in is pretty slow. I believe Briar Witch was pretty fast, but we'll have to see here. 8-in does get pushed up because of her passive, and that's a lot of damage. A third of Spectre Tenebra's health is already gone. Does Peyra want to go for the S3? I think she should for that damage mitigation. Oh wait, no, she can't. She has to go for the S1 stun. There we go. Got it this time around. No 15%. Now Lilius essentially has to S3 if he doesn't want the Lionheart Serbian to proc and push herself up. But we'll see what he goes for. I think the dual attack's the most reasonable way to go to try to get this Briar Witch Iceria down, because you want to save the cleanse for the Lua and the Briar Witch's S3s, right? So let's see. The Lilius is unable to provoke. No effectiveness built on this Lilius. Now Destina at this point I think just has to push up the Spectre Tenebria. And the Spectre Tenebria has to go for the Briar Witch. Now, there are no Souls to Soulburn. I think you just S3 into the Briar Witch Iceria and just hope for the best, right? You can't kill her here. She won't... What? Wait. I think he just threw. LV, what are you doing? He went for the Lua instead, perhaps trying to get the kill to get the pushback, but that was an 18k HP Lua. And that was not an attack buff Spectre Tenebria, and that's it. LV, that has got to be the strangest. I'm at a loss for words. That was the strangest kind of chain of events. Apocalypse looking really happy with that though. The fastest win I think in E7 World Championship history. There you go, best of 3 match in basically 12 minutes. That's gonna be it for the video then. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more Epic 7 content. And until next time, take care.